It's day 13 of my spring Declutter challenge, and today we are tackling the garage. If you were here in the fall Declutter challenge, you know that I blocked off 4 whole days for this project and used all 4 days and was so burnt out afterwards. I'll give you a reminder in just a second about what that looked like, but it's not going to take me 4 days this time. There is a little bit that I do need to do today. A lot of what should be done, I really do need my husband's help for. So I will be doing that at some point when he is home and he is available to help me with that. But for today, I'm just going to go in and do what I can just to make sure that the garage is ready for all of our summer activities, from gardening to house projects. I want to make sure that we can find what we need when we need it. So let's take a look at what the garage looked like 6 months ago. This was my garage 6 months ago. So this was October of 2024. This is probably the worst the garage has ever been. And just trying to find anything, or even just finding space to walk through, was almost impossible. We could get to the freezer and we could try to find things, but not everything had a place. And things that did have a home, just it wasn't organized well. We had a lot of things the kids had outgrown, a lot of broken systems, and a lot of laziness on my part. I had tried to declutter and organize this multiple times and had failed over and over and over again. So I was hoping that 4 days was going to really be enough to make a change, and surprisingly it was. And here is the garage today. Granted, there's like a pile of cardboard boxes I didn't want to put away, and there are some things that are not put away properly or just set here just because we didn't want to make decisions right away. But overall, it's a night and day difference. The garage was stressing me out a little bit here just because I had put so much work into it before and I was afraid it was going to get messy again. But honestly, this really isn't bad for all that we're asking of the space to do right now. Really not bad at all. So all in all, not bad at all. There are donations that need to be taken to either school or to the local Goodwill. The drum set has to go to my in-laws. We're holding things in there for my daughter who is moving out in June. So there's a lot in there that I'm trying to work around. But honestly, compared to 6 months ago, this feels really doable. So let's get started. So starting out, I am picking a point in my garage, which is right next to the door to our mudroom, and that's going to be my starting point, and I'm going to work clockwise around my garage just like I had been doing in every single room, and I'm going to start off easy. I'm going to start off by breaking down the cardboard boxes. So if you need to do your garage, do something easy that will make a big impact, like taking care of a pile of cardboard boxes on your floor. Break them down, put them inside of another box or in your recycling bin, put them in your toter, whatever you need to do to take care of that. 5 minutes or less, you can be done, or at least put a big substantial dent in it. And then just continue working around, finding those easy tasks that'll make a big impact. I stacked my buckets. That made more floor space for us. I can find my empty buckets now, and then I just went through my gardening tools. Everything was put back. I don't need to get rid of anything. And then I'm moving my toter back outside. During the winter, we keep it in the garage so we don't have to brave the elements to take care of our garbage. But now that it's getting warmer, it's going to start getting smelly. So we do store it outside during the warmer months. And then continuing around the garage over to my husband's grilling area, there was a jug of motor oil there. So I went and put that with the other car items. And then just tidying things now that we are done with winter, knock on wood, I am tightening down our storage for the shovels because we are done with them. So if your seasons are changing drastically like ours are, which I'm sure they are, putting away those seasonal items that you will no longer be needing for the foreseeable future is a quick and easy thing you can do to make a big impact. And now I am tackling a flat surface because flat surfaces will attract clutter and clutter attracts clutter. I'm trying to stop that from happening. There's a couple boxes here of like old tablets and phones that I need to take care of. I put the dowels with the scrap wood. And then these are boxes that need to go to school for donations. And the teacher is waiting for them. I just keep forgetting to take them, so I'm putting them into my van now, so next time I go to school, I can just drop them off, or I can even text the teacher and be like, hey, when is a good time for me to drop by this week? So that way they are there and they were ready. And then just continuing to try to take care of the flat surface. Thankfully, I labeled my bins very well in the fall, so we had some scrap pieces from a piece of furniture. We had belts. And it's one of those things like we might need them, we might not, but one of the bins actually had miscellaneous furniture parts in it. So made sure that that got put away properly. And then I keep getting stuck because there's things I want to do, but I'm waiting on other things. Like I'm waiting for my husband to help me. I realized that this motor oil container is actually like used oil, so that I'm putting back on the other side of the garage, not by the grill, but in a spot where my husband can take that back to the store because they will dispose of it for us. And then I'm sweeping down a flat surface. Quick, easy task. Clean off a flat surface, or at least part of a flat surface, and once that is clear, vacuum it, dust it, sweep it up, whatever you need to do. And now we have a spot to work again if we need to work on a project. And then of course, just tidying as I go. I'm putting away the broom and the dustpan because if I leave it out, it's just going to be more work for me to do later. Right, moving on down here, I decided that I should just take care of the donation boxes and move those to my van as well. I have moved the donation, like the extra boxes and then the boxes of donations out to the garage rather than having them clutter up my sunroom. And that is working really well for us. I kind of do forget to take care of the donations more often, but it's keeping the living part of my home more organized. So it's kind of a win-win, a little bit of a loss there. But moving on to my containers. If you watched my videos in the fall, you know I hoard containers like nobody's business. My container collection was probably 99% of the problem in this back half back in the fall. So my goal for myself was to keep only what would fit on these white shelves, and it's working beautifully, and I can find what I need. It is not overwhelming, and it's staying really clean. I did have to kind of organize a little bit because the last time that I needed containers, I was really burned out after that time of like cleaning up, so I did just set them down, but it was a really quick and easy fix. And then I had a couple extra empty boxes, so I'm just putting them away in the collection. I would donate them, or not donate them, but put them in with recycling. But I do in the next week or two have an appointment with a client, so I want to make sure I have enough empty boxes for that appointment for any of their decluttering needs or for sorting as we are organizing in the middle of that process. I want to make sure that I have a good assortment. So once that is done, if I still have this huge stash of them, I will pare it down at that point, but right now I need every box that I can get. I'm just pushing the fishing rods back up onto the shelf and then looking to see if I can tackle what's behind this box spring, but I'm really not in the mood to move it, and actually things behind it are not horrible. So once my daughter moves out in June, I will make sure that everything back there is fine, and then just looking once over quickly to see if there's anything else that needs my attention, or if it's just things that need to wait for my husband, and then just finishing tidying up and then giving the floor a really good sweep, because if the floor is clean, I feel like the entire space is clean. If the floor is a mess, I still feel like it's messy. So I'm going to just make sure that I'm taking that time to really finish this strong. So quick, easy task is take care of your floor, vacuum it, sweep it. Depending on what kind of floor you have, maybe mop it in your garage. Our floor is not fancy at all. I would love to at some point redo the floor out here, but right now is just, it's such a low priority that I'm not super worried about it. I feel like that would help the floor stay cleaner if we had a better floor, but beggars can't be choosers sometimes. It works great for us right now, and honestly, we don't work out here enough that we would really need something to be cleaner, like more permanently, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Words are hard sometimes, guys. Words are hard. And that's it. Here is the after. Little bits here and there, you can tell things are better. I still feel like I have a lot on my to-do list personally, like making sure donations get taken care of, the drum set will get out of here, and then I need to figure out what to do with those tablets and things like that. Because I think that'll make just us feel better knowing that that is finally taken care of, because some of these things are probably 10 years old. And then, yeah, it just feels really good out here. Hopefully over the summer, my husband and I can go through some of the things I need his help with, but I'm really happy with how well this turned out and is staying nice and tidy. That was not bad at all. I feel like it was more dirty than it was like messy, but making a note that I need to take donations to school. I need to take donations to Goodwill. I need to take the drum set to my in-laws. We need to figure out what to do with old tablets and cell phones. I think once those are done, it'll feel a lot better in there. I did move the stuff for school and Goodwill into my van in hopes that the next time I go to school, I can drop off boxes, or the next time I go into town, I can drop off donations. I was just there 2 days ago. Should have taken stuff with me, but it's fine. There is still so much that I want to go through and pare down, but I really need my husband because we have a lot of camping things, but I'm not really into camping. So to me, I would get rid of all of it, but I know he loves camping. So I want to make sure that we keep things that he loves, and then like house stuff. I don't know what's what and what's still good, and I really need like his expertise at that. So someday stuff will get pared down even more, but in the meantime, we can go out there. The workbench is available to us now to work. I swept, which if you watched my living room video, you know how much like messy floors bothers me. So knowing that we can go out there, it's clean, all the garden stuff is easy to find, workbench stuff is easy to, grab and do a project if we need it. Granted, the drum set is in the way, but I'll be dropping that off hopefully within the next week to my in-laws. So yeah, I'm calling it a win today. Not just because everything looks better out there, but for the past 6 months, the systems that I put in place are working and have worked. We have been able to find what we needed really easily for whatever project we needed. And it's staying tidy. That's never happened before. So pat myself on the back. Breathe it in. And I will probably go out there like 10 times today and just stand and like look around and see like my hard work is paying off. So that's really exciting. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you want some tips for organizing a garage, let me know. Some of the things that we've done out there are like pretty awesome and really affordable. So let me know. I would be happy to make a video on that. And until next time, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Happy decluttering. Bye.